I've been riding bikes in more than 30 years, and I always consider myself to be, well, a decent cyclist. But this summer everything changed. Let me start from the beginning. I have always been a fairly active guy growing up. Playing football, ice hockey, doing some cross-country skiing. When I was 20, me and some buddies bought our first real bikes. It was a mountain bike, and my mountain bike was a Miata Elevation 2000, I think it was called, and I really loved that bike. Mountain bike was quite a fairly new experience, at least here in Sweden at that time of the century. And yeah, growing up in the northern part of Sweden, the midnight sun was prominent, so we rode our bikes whenever during the 24 hours of the day, because it was bright as the day, even in the middle of the night. My God, it is nice outside today. A real fall propaganda. So skip forward a couple of years, and I was moving to the more southern part of Sweden, and also joined a bike club, MTB Täby, just north of Stockholm, and started to do some races, primarily some marathon racing on mountain bike. Nothing more serious racing, only a means to have some goals for myself and try to improve on the result from each year. I'm standing between two of the mounts in the Viking mounts here in Uppsala, historical ground. Skip forward some more years, and yeah, for the last 4 or 5 years I haven't been doing that much racing at all. Just only try to enjoy the cycling, but still have some sort of challenge each year. So I done the Night of Softalandria challenge on indoor cycling and Sufferfest platform, and yeah, also doing the longest routes of every Swift world for I think it was 9 days straight some years ago. But being a cyclist in Sweden, there is one elusive goal that in the eyes of non-cyclists is the pinnacle of it all, because when you're telling the non-cyclist that you are a cyclist, you always get this question, and that is, have you ridden the Vätternrundan? Vätternrundan is the largest recreational race in the world, and it is here in Sweden. I have thought of doing the Vätternrundan for quite many years, but it has never been fitting in some aspects to do it. But then suddenly this year the stars aligned and everything was just right fit to do it. One of the local sport shops here in Uppsala has had different subgroups for every year for many years, and I decided to sign up for one this year to do the Vätternrundan, that is 315 kilometers in under 10.5 hours. I thought that was quite doable. So with this group it was training from April. The race is, or the race, but let's call it a race, is in the middle of June. So from April, when the snow is gone and the roads are quite bare, the training together with a group started up, with some shorter trainings on the weekdays and a long one on the weekend. And coming into the spring, I felt quite prepared actually, because I've done some swift training and my whoosh, some indoor cycling during the winter, and so I was quite confident that I would manage to do the Vätternrundan under 10.5 hours. So coming into the spring and starting the training with the group, and I felt quite immediately that it was really hard for me during the trainings, and as the spring developed and into the summer, I was feeling quite hesitant about my capacity, and that was kind of discerning, what it's called. I was quite nervous and not so happy about it, and my confidence sort of went down. But yeah, of course it felt better and better during the spring, but still not that good. Month before Vätternrundan we did a 200 kilometers ride, and I felt okay, but had to hang on at the end of the bunch for the last 10 or 15 kilometers. Closing in on the race, I felt more and more nervous and quite pressured, and the week before I could only think about and visualize how good it would feel when this was over. And I can tell you that isn't a very good mindset to have going into a challenge. Come race day, and I was not feeling happy and excited for the race. Of course, when we started, the nervousness somewhat disappeared, but instead I got an anxiety to not stand the whole distance. Not going into so much details about the race, but about 180 kilometers in, I had to let go of the group. So 130 kilometers I was riding by myself and struggled against the demon on my shoulders telling me to quit and throw the bike into the lake Vättern. However, one of my biggest assets is to not give up, and lo and behold, a couple of hours later I crossed the finish line, and not feeling happy or satisfied, but only relieved. The thing is, after Vätternrundan I felt empty, not physically but mentally, and sort of mad at myself for not being strong enough and able to contribute to the group the whole lap. Feeling like the weakest link of the group is not a very nice feeling, and I didn't find any joy with cycling after the race. This summer I've been mostly riding mountain bike with my daughter and slowly rebuilding the passion and joy of cycling again, and watching her enjoy it brought me back to the days I was riding on my Miata and not thinking about racing or anything, just the adventure and happiness of being out in the nature on a bike. And I mean, on days like this, biking is wonderful, and the last couple of days I've been having more energy in my legs than the whole spring and summer. And will I ride Vätternrundan again? Probably. Well, actually my daughters has expressed that they would like to ride it together with me, so. And will I ride Vätternrundan in a subgroup again? Who knows what the future will bring. But then maybe not so much for the time goal, but more so for the friendship and cooperation of the group. But rest assured that if I ride in a subgroup, I will do my utmost to reach the success of that group. And whenever I tell people I'm a cyclist and they ask me, have you ridden Vätternrundan? I can tell them, yes, I have. But that doesn't matter really. And if they ask me if I'm a good cyclist, I can tell them I don't care, because I'm a happy cyclist again, and that is all that matters. And of course also that I don't have to dive into the lake to find my bike.